This is Prophet Talks, and I'm Watts the Prophet. Today's topic is, did your grandparents sell you out when they integrated? It's an interesting topic and one that needs to be talked about from a millennial's perspective. I'm always forever grateful for what our grandparents did during the Civil Rights Movement, where they fought together to get rights and benefits in this country. But the follow through was absolutely decimated the black community. I'm one of those people who family owned a farm in California, farmland in Texas. My family did. Farmland in Louisiana. And they sold all that land for pennies on the dollar to integrate, de-inheriting my parents and me forever. We will never get a piece of that land money. We will never be able to make money off of it. Somebody white is right now who's seen the benefit of that farmland. Continue with generationally wealth, continually bringing in revenue, continuously putting food on the table for their wives and children. So what happened? What was the thought process? I think that the novelty of doing it is why some did it. Oh, this is new. Let me see what this is about. They tried their hands in it. Some were clout chasing. Oh, I can work for white people? When they were already working for white people, but they said that they can move into their spaces. That was new. And you got people that will live and die trying to do that, live in their spaces. It's not that serious of the black community. I know every time you hear about the black community, you hear about some type of crime or something. But given the fact that we have been deprived of every type of resource, kicked to the curb, and much maligned, crime should be worse in the black community, if I had to put it some way. Crime should be 1,000% worse, given how our people, if we were less than who we were, we would have been in worse situations. But I think it's an absolute miracle that crime isn't at all-time historic level globally in the black community. Globally, we're not as bad as most other countries are. Or what it could be, because most other countries that aren't black don't have the type of oppositions that we face. I would say they have no excuse to even have crime when they're elected and they're able to elect their presidents and have rights and benefits and they're able to integrate when they come over here immediately, but to immigrate to this country, crime should be a lot worse in the black community. The black man should be down on himself a lot more than what he is should be allowed to. I mean, but he is not. He still rises. The black woman still rises. The black child still rises up, raises up a generation in consciousness. I mean, I'm absolutely impressed. Got to give the community a pat on the back for that. We never take a day off, but we did when it came to integration. We did take a day off, and we're paying for it now. There's a report that came out a few years ago that said the black net worth will be $0 in 2050. That's 25 years from now. That's around the corner. If we don't do something now. I've started a website called the Black App uh, for me to do my part. It's called the Black App. It's a Yelp, Amazon website where you can sell your goods and you can review black restaurants. It's absolute need in the community so people can, because you need a black app. You need my app to even find businesses. Businesses haven't populated on there yet because I just now started it. But when it does, you would need that app to tell what businesses are in the black community because black people, by and large, don't own all the businesses in the black community. Asians do, Indians do, Arabs do. Nobody is shedding light on these black businesses, and I'm the one doing it. And once again, it's a black Amazon / Yelp business. You can leave your reviews of the businesses, and you can also purchase things on the marketplace. Back on the topic at hand, your grandparents did sell you out. They loved you, but they didn't have the forethought of knowing what you would need in your time. I don't think it was any idea, or most of the time, no thought was given towards the next generation when they were selling out these businesses and giving up this farmland and giving up all this stuff. I don't think at any time it was thought that it could backfire. We were so busy thinking about the pushbacks that whites would give to our movements that we didn't think of the come up. What was the plan for the come up? What was the plan to monetize and even scale up businesses with another customer base looking at your businesses? We should have been like, well, we already have black customers. Let's scale up to try to get some white customers instead of sell out to buy white business, to buy white products from white businesses. That's a hustler's mentality right there, and it was absolutely lacking in the community at that time period. They all sold out. They all sold their businesses. That's why you can go in the black community and not know of a single black business. Now, restaurants, you know, that's always going to be a staple of the black community, restaurants. But you have Mexican restaurants in black neighborhoods. You have Asian restaurants in black neighborhoods. You got businesses from everywhere. And shoot, I was in Oak Park. They had an Indian restaurant in Oak Park. Talking about some halal, which I'm always down for some halal. I don't eat pork. So some halal is good, but it just showed that businesses or people feel comfortable opening up businesses in our community and taking from us. But are they putting anything into the community that's helping to change the narrative of the community or change the people's lives in the community? I gotta say, for the most part, no. When our grandparents sold those buildings, they didn't know they would be filled, or they didn't assume that it would be filled by people who didn't look like us and didn't care about the community, and that even years later, they would still be trapped in that community. There's no economic opportunities. But those black businesses gone. That's black jobs gone. They didn't even think of the consequences. They just acted out. Well, we got until 2050 before wealth hits zero. We have to think about the gains. We have to think about what would happen if we got reparations now. We'll get reparation. It's in God's plan. Reparations is coming to black people, but we got to think about it now before there's no turning back, because it'll be like that Dave Chappelle skit where you got cats buying cigarette trucks and I mean, not to that level, but you have all these rap companies and different things. We need to bolster up our institutions so that they can get the money and then lead us in righteousness and lead us to self-preservation. We need more, and these aren't extreme groups, even though I'm Pan-Africanist and all that and a Christian first. I think we need more organizations out there that can deal with that money, that like black banks. We need to collectively buy out those black banks with that money, make one national black bank, keep the money there so that it can loan the money back to us. Imagine a black bank with $20 trillion. What it could do. It could give us zero interest loans. They can fund businesses from now until forever. I know you're saying, well, what if we can't count, we can't we can't account for everybody doing right with their money. We can't. I think that's a dangerous game to think that if everybody got a check, that everybody will do the right thing. Some people will blow it. A lot of people might blow it. Who knows? This is the things that we got to think about now. What will happen if we got a check? Because this has happened before with our families fighting for the right to integrate and fighting for the right for privileges in this country. They thought about the pushback, but they didn't think about the come up. With God, we're going to get a come up. We're asking for it, ask and you shall receive. We're going to receive it. We're going to receive it soon. What are we going to do about it? And I think we need black institutions to take care of it, to give the money to black institutions so that we don't get all that money and not have any any oversight of it. Or we should get a check to be able to buy a house with that money. It should be mandatory that we get a house with that money. If you already own a house, it should be used to pay off your mortgage. If your mortgage is already paid, then you should be able to hold that money and do what you want to do with it because you already taken care of. But to let 30 or it's only 30 million plus of us. It's 46 million blacks. Let me get the number so I don't lie to you. 42 million blacks. It's 48 million blacks as of 2023. So you know we're probably at 50. I mean, we have a real shot here to win the souls of our community back, and I think it should be done through institutions. I think we should start our own political party once we get the check, and doing like APEC. I mean, what the Jews do, having both sides come to meet us and sit at our tables and win our votes. Whether it be a blue Democrat or red Republican, they should both be up in their own that debate stage, debating for our right to voting for them, voting for they should be waiting on us hand and foot. We need this. We need this conversation because it's a conversation that wasn't had during the civil rights movement. Every black is on code, pretty much, except for General Langley. That was on the first episode. But every black, for the most part, that you talk to is on some type of code to getting this reparations. A couple of years ago, that was unheard of, but God has really waken us up to what we're worth, and we want it, and it's part of God's plan, like I said, that we get reparations, but He also wants us to be mindful of what we do, because if we get reparations and we blow that, there ain't no coming back. There ain't no coming back. We will never get respect again in this universe if we blew that bad. So there's going to be added pressure on us. There's going to be some push. There's going to be a lot of pushback when we get that back. But rather than just focusing in on the pushback, let's talk about what needs to be talked about more importantly. What are we going to do when we get the money? Should we buy our own state? Not buying land, buying towns. Let's say Oklahoma, there's still black towns there. Buy up the towns and then build up there and have our own cities. Do we do that? Not everybody has to move there, but just a significant amount of people to where we got some political base and some protection. do we go for in Atlanta? Just buy everything up there and make it the black capital of the world. These are ideas I'm coming up with for you guys to debate on. I'm down for what you're down for if we can agree to it as a group. I'm definitely going to move to wherever the majority of black people is because I'm not one of those who clout chase to live with whites. I'm perfectly fine living with black people, knowing that black people have been put through so much and don't commit enough crime in relationship to where they are economically and socially. This is not the worst community by those standards, with those circumstances taken into place. It's one of the better communities. Black people are always vibrant. You cannot live apart from it if you knew what this community was. So we got to come up with a plan. Because our grandparents sold us, according to some of you, sold us an opportunity. To some of you, sold us out. I want to hear in the comments what you think. This is Prophet Talks, and the Prophet has spoke.